quality service, because one of the main principles of these GSM operators in the Gambia, for them to obtain the license, the major qualification there is to provide quality service to their client, to their customers. But now, since 2023, when Comium come back to the business, they've reduced the tariff drastically, and that did not go well with the other competitors. They also feel like they will not lose their customers. They say, well, if you are cheap, can it be cheaper than cheapest? So that's the slogan that is going on in our telecommunication system. So all the networks have their own tariff. And then one thing that to make 1 gig $50, that $50 has to come with something. It should not be a mere talk, because people say we want standard, we want quality, we want efficient service to the customers. So if at all that $50, all this that's going to be the benchmark that across the board we're going to have a quality internet supply in the country, fine. But if it is going beyond that, then that's something else. But so Adama, your justification that why Pura should allow you to go over that.
I will come from where you stop. I think this is my justification here. But when Pura said that we need quality, but are they to give us quality?
That is what Pura is protecting.
But are they going to? They will just give us internet, you will connect, you will struggle with it. So I think Pura should allow Gambians to enjoy this era.
Pura should allow Gambians to enjoy?
Yeah, they should allow Gambians to enjoy this era.
But internet is very slow. You can see in the studio, even to go on my phone is a problem.
Yes, I'm even struggling to go in my phone.
It's cheaper, but it's not.
It's cheaper, but now let's wait for next week. They will increase, or maybe I don't know when the average started. Yes, they increase.
Benchmark.
They will increase, but we will still have the same quality we were having. I don't think there is anything that will be.
No, that's not possible.
So the reason I said Pura is not fair to Gambians is Pura should allow Gambians to enjoy. This was our era to enjoy cheap internet. Even my grandmother at the village can enjoy cheap internet with a $5. She will connect and see what is happening in the internet.
Let's try to digest exactly what Pura say about this. While this significant tariff reduction may benefit customers in the short term, it has raised serious concern regarding network quality, long-term sector standing ability, and the state's revenue collection. Pura has received widespread reports from consumers and stakeholders highlighting deteriorating service quality, including slow data speeds, reduced network availability, and overall decline in user experience. The regulatory Pura added that in line with its mandate to protect consumers while ensuring a stable, competitive, and investment-friendly telecommunication sector, it has taken regulatory action. A temporary floor price of 50 per gigabyte, approximately US $0.65, will take effective from 18 August 2025. There is that's going to be below the industry average of 106 per gigabyte. So this is the argument of Pura.
Yeah.
This is their argument. So now the point that we are saying here.
Yes.
Pura said at least now they take it to $50 per gigabyte. But the thing is, Pura want them because of the reason Pura are jumping into the business. We are experiencing a very terrible and a very bad connection system. So Pura see that they are all going down, going low, but the consumers are suffering. So in order to stop this, we're going to bring a benchmark. At least how cheap, you cannot be cheaper than cheapest.
Yeah.
So how cheapest you are, but this is the benchmark. They give the license.
Yeah, to me, if Pura control and make sure that we have quality internet, yes, it is very fair. But now, my point here is, Pura have made their decision. They reduce the traffic. But are they sure that those GSM operators will they give us quality? Because you can see some GSM operators, you will suffer before you connect. Some areas you will buy your megabyte, but you suffer before you use that connection. And one thing they are saying that like sustainability for maybe GSM operators, yes, that one also is something we should consider. Because when they say cheap cannot be, I don't know, cheaper than cheap or something like that. They are all going down, down, down. They will reach to a point that they will not able to sustain themselves. To me, because if you are going cheap business, you go for business to get interest. But if you are going to a business where you end up losing tomorrow, I don't think there is need for business. But Pura should, yes, they did well for the GSM operators. Us Gambians were enjoying and they cut it. Now we need them also to make sure that they regulate this GSM operators so that they will give us quality. We Gambians need quality internet.
Thank you. So that's going to take us to our next item on the topic. As we speak right now, ex-soldier Abulai Stadium arrested at airport. I only pray you then will allow us to go through the story. It's still loading. Pura, I need your support to make the television very strong here. So that story is still loading in the monitor in our studio here. All right. So let's it's a short, very short story about it reads a former military officer Abulai Sanyang has been arrested as he tried to catch a flight back out of his base in Switzerland on Sunday, a few days after an explosive interview on West Coast Radio. A statement from the government of the Gambia on the matter says Sanyang was arrested by airport security officials following information obtained through the flight manifestors. He was initially detained at the airport police station and subsequently handed over to the Criminal Intelligence and Interpol Bureau for routine background screening. Following preliminary proceedings, Mr. Sanyang was transferred to Bruce Lee Police Station, where he was interviewed in connection with a statement he made during an appearance on the Coffee Time with Peter Gomez program aired on West Coast Radio on Thursday, 14 August 2025. The remarks made during the broadcast are considered to have significant national security implications. Mr. Sanyang is currently in custody at Bruce Lee Criminal Investigation Department, CID, as investigation continue, the statement say. Very simple and precise. So, I think it was a very the soldier missile explosion during the political impasse 2016. The soldier said he was among the few soldiers that went to burn the APRC bureau at Carniving, which already has 300,000 Gambian voters to arrest the guy and get the details of him. Like, let's say, if you say the election was not fair or whatsoever, you can come with your justification. They can compare the facts together, because I understand this a political party, UDP, GDC, and SRFAL, they all went to Sendabo. Now, GDC never accept the result and the UDP, so and even the SRFAL. But those who did not stop there, especially UDP, they fought into the High Court, but it was never accepted to go through. So if he says such things and then he was arrested, then should have
what will come out of it, whether he will be able to defend himself, to show us evidence that this and this is what happened or not. So we waiting for the police and see what next will happen.
As we said, as the police investigate, we wait. So let's proceed to the next item. Our other item here is prominent Gambian lawyer Lyman. He had intended to apply for the because of certain complicated conditions require applicants to reduce their dual citizenship within 14 days. The door is shut on him. On Sunday, the UDP announced it has opened the process of flag bearer selection for 2020 to go in the Gambia's. I agree with the UDP entirely on this part. That is, if you want to be their flag bearer, you have to be a Gambian, only a Gambian, but not any other nationality. I think that person is because I might be a Gambian, I went to UK or any elsewhere in the world, my kids automatically they become a Gambian through me. But still, they by the country of birth, they become a automatic citizen of that particular country. So if they want to come and be a president in the Gambia, they have to decide. Choose one country.
Yeah. Yeah. That one was really something. You cannot be our president while you have a citizenship or somewhere else.
No, we don't allow that. We don't allow anybody to
yeah,
go.
We cannot allow that one.
We don't want you to transfer our phone to your.
I won't care, I have somewhere to go to. So UDP, that one was a good one. But what this guy is trying to complain here is the period they are given. He said 14 days is too short for him to renounce his citizenship of another country.
Yeah, definitely that one also a genuine point. Because if you say 14 days period for us to come forward and declare our interest to become a flag bearer. And now, if I'm having dual citizenship, we all knew that took a process before it will be revoked.
Yeah.
For you to revoke your citizenship, that can even take you 2 months, 3 months. So I think Lamin Jeda will have a bitter complaint that even to that. Because if you read the article, you go under the article, let's bring it here. In the article he said another troubling aspect. This is not my words, but the words of Lamin Jeda, the veteran lawyer. He said another troubling aspect with the applicant's process is how upholding the UDP code of conduct and committed to the internal democratic selection process. It democratic without routine top subject criteria. In 2021, there was no democratic process in the selection procedure because out of the four applicants, only Usain Dabo was given a hearing. Barrister Dabo said. He alleged that other applicants were not even invited to participate in any interview or conversation, were simply anointed and in a flag bearer violation of UDP selection rules. This is what Gamons has recently heard Dr. Mane refer me to the Democratic UDP internal democratic Lamin Jeda said. So he said in 2021 presidential election, 4 extra people do apply for the flag bearer position. But he said, according to him, not me, that only Usain Dabo was given the chance to be interviewed. The rest, they were not visible. So that one also was a serious, allegation. And if that is true, then the UDP, their principle, their code of conduct was contradicted within the executive in 2021. You don't want to say it.
Yeah, let's leave that to that.
This is the beauty of daily podcast. We don't left any stone unturned, regardless of where it came from. Nothing but the truth. So we proceed with another item, but to remind ourselves, to remind our audience that they are following us live on King FM. 2 p.m. where we digest all that you really need to know about your newspapers in the country. So if you are elsewhere in America, the Europe, and other part of the world, a better place to understand and get use of all the latest development in your country is daily podcast live on King FM with Alhagie Fatty.
I'm Adama Nyang.
So that will take us to our break, and after we'll be back.
Okay, you're tired. I don't understand, but I just look at the headline. What is the name of this?
Welcome back to our daily podcast live with me, Alhagie Fatty, and
Adama Nyang.
And now let's take you through to a very important segment of this program, perhaps the integrity of the program today. Religions leaders told hate speech is not a free speech. Ida, let's go details into this a little bit.
Yeah, the senior human rights advocate at the Office of UN Resident Coordinator in the Gambia, Yvonne Masarakufa, has told religious leaders that hate speech is not protected as free speech when it constitutes an advocate of religious hate that indeed discrimination, hospitality, and or violence. The UN expert was addressing a medium national conference on religious and hate speech at the start of the Kairaba Jawara International Conference Center. The conference was part of the project stretching the national infrastructure of peace and promote social cohesion in the Gambia, founded by the UN Peace Building Fund and implemented by the UNESCO, UNDP, and International Trade Center from 2023 to 2025. Masakufa further clarified that hate speech is neither protected nor it is covered under the right of freedom of expression. Hate speech undermines human rights, excavate division, and escort the very fiber of democratic society. See assault. It is in view of this, she went on, that the UN adopted a resolution on promoting interreligious and intercultural dialogue and tolerance to conquer hate speech, and also develop a plan to action on hate speech, which recognize hate speech as a threat of international peace and security.
Yeah, that was a very and in the same line against hate speech. So we have Alpha Khan, Chief of Jokadu District, also did a similar remarks. Of course, we have Emmanuel Juf, that is human rights chairperson, Emmanuel Juf. So I think I agree with them, because let's look at what the Chief of Jokadu say. Alpha Khan, Chief of Jokadu, asserting that hate speech is not just a legal issue, but also a moral and societal issue, and therefore traditional leaders should leverage their influence in society to speak up against it. I agree with him entirely. So now let's look at what chairperson of human rights, Emmanuel Juf, has been talking about this. Made an impressive the one our people are listening to, from the port, from the Bantabas or whatsoever, your Samun, your whatsoever, the Christian, the Muslim. So they all agree.
Yeah.
I think so in our society, let's try to put this thing in the proper perspective. Hate speech, definitely, you will agree with me, it has no room, it has no place in our society. But the people who matters most are our traditional leaders. Religious leaders, and even political party leaders. In as much we are trying to distance ourselves from it, then there is a possibility of mitigating it in our country. But if these people use this, especially the politicians, if they use hate speech, as a means of obtaining vote, they are trying to put the country into more chaos.
The issue on hate speech, talking about religious leaders, the religious leaders, they really play a powerful role in our society. We all know we are all believers of a particular religion, so we listen mostly to what our religious leader says. Yeah, so them being there, our leaders, it is very important for them to take note of all other stuff like hate speech, because if they make a speech which is hateful, those supporting them will follow them and it can cause problems. So this was a really good move. The conference they made with them was a really good one, so that they will be educated on those type of things, which will help our society for more peace, for the more nation development.
All right, Adama, let's do a bit of education, because it's like it's all not well for almost 631 candidates that sit for WAS in the Gambia. Still, their results, not that their results are not in the country, but their results are not even with our exam council in the Gambia. So because of what they say exam malpractice. But to make this thing precise and understandable for our audience, according to the Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education, the results of about 631 candidates in the recent WAS examination have been withheld by the regional exam body, West African Examination Council, for what suspected exam malpractice. Results are not being released by we are to the educational sector. So would that be the school administrator, the students? Well, where would you
to me, all of them have a role to play in
even parents?
Yes,
How?
yes,
How?
even parents.
How?
If you are a parent, you teach your children at home to be responsible, to be trustworthy. They won't go to school and cheat. If you are a parent, you have your kids at home, let them read. Show them that reading will help you to pass your exam, but you allow them to be on the internet browsing, using their phone to do all honesty. When it is time for exam, they know that yes, I should pass this exam. They will find all means to cheat so that they pass the exam. So as a parent, we have role to play. And we will do this and this for you, and you will pass your exam. And parents are giving money to their children to go and pay for that and pass their exam. Is that not cheating? So parents have a role to play.
All right. Well, for me, I think I'll put the entire blame on teachers. Some might say, well,
No,
I'm not fair,
no.
but I have my own reasons.
Okay.
Because I think as a good teacher, number one, because I passed through this as well. Especially during exam, there are bad teachers that are causing all this trouble everywhere. Sometimes they go and lick one paper and start collecting money from students, giving them answers. So those are things that cause. You are at a Gambia high school or Muslim senior secondary school, and then you are invigilating the science. You go to the student that you think you can have something from them. You give them these answers. They are all the same hall. 10 students. They all have all correct. So
Yeah.
So you understand?
I have got you, but to this point, that's why white too should be blamed. If they bring enough supervisors at school, they should not allow teachers teaching in a school to be supervising exams. They have supervisors, but invigilators are teachers teaching in the very school. So now, let me just conclude here. Now I'm a teacher at a certain school. I know all the students in that school, and I'm asked today to go and invigilate them. I'm invigilated. I see that this one is my friend. I always get, or sometimes I send so and so to go and do this and that. The teacher might attempt to, and I see that one is troubling. What will you do? You know the person. 3 years the person was with you. You are teaching the person. The teacher may tend to help. But if why provide more supervisors and invigilators, if a teacher is teaching a particular school, you should not invigilate in that school. I think it will also help to prevent malpractice during exam.
Yeah, I think still I'm down to teachers. Teachers, I'm not happy. I'm going to be there on this one because they are the brainstorm behind everything. Because of look, parents will not come and have access to the invigilation papers.
But parents contribute. Parents contribute a lot.
No, the fact of the matter, this is teachers, and it will always be teachers. So I think teachers have to be contented, and then they have to be honest to themselves, and honest to the other students, and honest to the nation as a whole. And
yes.
Then there's one thing also we have to be very careful, especially our Ministry of Education. In sometimes if you look at Ghana, Nigeria, Sierra Leone, Gambia, all these ministries, they compete at the end of the year to say we have so people who pass exam. That somebody can be in a foreign land passing to make so government so that they all fail woefully, and then send you money. You fail all the students. So sometimes it's madness. Sometimes also bad parents may also give
bad parents contribute
money. Teachers.
Parents.
The teachers have to understand me here because of the only way I put my My argument is if parents give money to their children, it's going through a student or a teacher. And if exam council bring invigilator, it has to
the paper a night before they say